All right, welcome back for the episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Thursday, December 1st, 2022. If you've not done so already, give the video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts and analysis. Anyways, spiders basically actually cracking positive now. Been pretty much a flat day, all things considered. I would call this mostly really just a pause day. So we had a 394 to 407, 408 surge yesterday in really about two and a half hours. And so it's not uncommon to really kind of just for the markets to stall out here and kind of catch its breath, take a breather. That is very common for when you have a big move like that. We are into this trend line. We did hit it earlier this morning, kind of gapped above it or gapped right on it essentially. And then we backed off, and now we're just kind of hanging out here, basically just grinding up against it, trying to bid back above it. I told you guys yesterday, this trend line is now minor due to the consolidation that we've done. And I like to flip over to the futures just because it's a much cleaner pattern on the futures, as you can see. Nice upright, tight pattern there. But that trend line is minor because we've consolidated enough beneath it. And you can see right now that price isn't like rejecting. Like we had two quick 20-minute rejection there, and then price stabilized. It's not like we had a big sell-off and a big reversal. It's just kind of just stalling, right? So this is minor. I do think the market in the near term wants to get up to at least this pivot here. So we'll call it 411, 412. It's actually 411.73 on the SPY, but I'll just round it up to 412. It does look like it wants to go there here in the near term. And I did put this trend line back on as well. So this one I had on there for a while. I took it off. I put it back on now because we're actually, it does look like that could be kind of your second target there once we get through this area, if and when we do get through this area. And that would be, again, back testing that head and shoulder pattern. The neckline of that, and you'd also be essentially up into this pivot here as well, and that 420 area. So a lot of resistance up there. I think the market, I think that's probably max upside really for right now. And I like that we got above that 200 moving average. I told you guys yesterday I want to see the cheerleaders come out. I want to see the pom-poms out, and yesterday they were. There was tweets going out about the Dow. Dow's up 20% off the lows now, as of yesterday and today. So technically it's in bull market territory. The Dow is back in the bull market. I want to see that stuff. I want to see more of it. That's what's going to get the last bears out, and it's going to get the FOMO bulls on board, which is what we need to do in order to flip the script. And the VIX here as well, now sub 20. So we're definitely getting there on volatility. Now into this kind of like little nest here, this previous failed bear flag there on the VIX. So it's coming together. It's getting pretty close, and really nice pop here. Really nice rally off the lows. Got to hand it to the market here. But we're starting to get into like the borrowed time territory, if you ask me. As far as the levels on the triple Qs, again, we'll say not the 412 area so much, but this upsloping trend line here, the kind of the max move for the SPY, I would say probably coincides with a 300 pierce on the triple Qs. So something like this, you got this channel right here that we're in, this trend line upsloping with the downsloping trend line going back to April. So that's a pretty good area of resistance there. There's also the 200 moving average there as well on the triple Qs. So pretty good area up in this zone here, just above 300, maybe just, a little bit slightly above it, maybe 303, something like that. Again, these trend lines are down sloping, and price is obviously moving to the right every day. So they kind of will crisscross at some point. But in any case, you get the idea there. That's kind of the levels that I'm looking at on the Qs. As far as the Russell, this is still not made a new high. So the Russell is also showing laggardship here, which is not a good sign. And again, we talked about the laggardship in the NASDAQ really for quite some time now. We've just gotten above this pivot high. As of yesterday, I think we closed like 10 cents above it. And we only just have gotten above the September breakdown level, the 290 area, whereas the spiders got above that, weeks ago. So the Qs are lagging. Now the Russell is lagging. And you guys know I talk about it every single day. Semiconductors are also lagging. This is still just into double top right now. So this is not, I think it made a nominal higher high today by, like 50 cents or something like that. But it is not, it has not had the same breakout. It did this power bar yesterday did not achieve the same effect that, the spiders did with the higher high there. And the same thing goes for the Dow Transports. So, Dow Transport's a nice bid yesterday, and this looks like it's in a good technical position. If you take this chart just by itself, this is actually good. You're above all 4 major moving averages. You broke above this trend line, and you're kind of curling back up. So there's nothing wrong with it. But the fact that you have lower highs now, again, in the semis and the transports and the Russell now, with spiders making higher highs and the Dow making higher highs, that's, again, not what we want to see. And again, the Q's only making double top. Again, you want to see risk on leading. Small caps are risk on, tech is risk on, growth is risk on, semiconductors are a leading indicator, transports are a leading indicator. We want to see those leading to the upside, not lagging. So just supporting the case here that, again, like I've been saying the entire time, this is just a bear rally. It's a good one, but I think its time's coming to a close here pretty shortly. Anyways, let's get over to it. So we just mentioned semis, mentioned transports. Let's talk about cloud here. So IGV getting a decent bid here today. Still not a higher high as well. CRM reported yesterday. That fell off of a cliff. Intuit, we talked about this yesterday, had a decent day, and that held the gains. Then you had CrowdStrike take a big hit yesterday. That is coming off the lows here, but again, cloud continues to be really weak here, and it just has not had much of a rally off the lows. Again, not above that 1115 pivot high, and you're still not above the September. I mean, look at where we broke down in September. We're basically flat. And you look at the spiders, we've well since cleared that. So cloud is definitely a weak sector right now. Maybe some shorts could come up into this in the near future once we start, once we get one more bit up here, because this is a weak sector. And, I like to pick on the weaker ones if I can help it. But anyways, so cloud on the weak side. Bonds today. Yields came in pretty sharply. So it looks like the 10-year wants to get to that 3.4 area. Here on the TNX, you have the 100-day moving average there as well. TLT with a nice bid today, up 2.71%. This has a headwind next week at 106. So just giving you that in advance. Doesn't mean I can't get above that tomorrow or crack above it a little bit, maybe 106 and change. But for next week, that is a level of resistance for TLT. So I'm watching for possible pullback, consolidation, or a rejection. If it gets rejected, that means that this bear is not done here in TLT. But if it just consolidates, then it can go higher. But I'm just giving you that heads up right there. But bonds having a nice rally today. 2-year was up 29 basis points. The problem right now is still, even with bonds rallying, take a look at 2s and 10s. Well, they're still, they came off the lows here, to be fair, but 3-month, 10-year, now almost 80 basis points inverted. So that's definitely a big deal, and we'll continue to watch that moving forward. All right, home builders, XHB, ITB finally making higher highs here. So I think ITB can get to that 65 handle. You'll have a speed bump right in this area, but we did consolidate a little bit beneath it. So it's just a speed bump. I do think 65 is kind of your max move, but yeah, nice little bid there for home builders today. VNQ stalled out at that 100-day moving average, but it has made a higher high. So we'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Again, target there is 93, 94 bucks. It's a little bit of a ways away, but that's kind of your max move for right now. XLF at a higher high today, but it is red. A lot of things got kind of overbought here on the open. Obviously, you can see we had that gap up, just like everything else. JP Morgan, again, still hasn't gotten to that 140 area. I do think it ultimately will. But for right now, XLF did pull back a little bit today. It's nothing terrible, but you did have kind of a little gap in crap. I still think XLF can get up to around 37, somewhere in that $37 area, which would essentially coincide with the kind of 140 handle there on JPM. But anyways, broker dealers, still no higher high, so still showing a little bit of laggardship. This looks really tired to me. It's had an amazing run. You got to give it that. It's defied gravity for quite a while, but again, 490 is kind of what I'm looking for here in the near term for max upside on XBD. Flipping over to energy. So crude, this has been an interesting trade here. It you can make a case it's bottomed. I want to see a weekly close here. I want to see a nice robust pop tomorrow and a strong close on the weekly. If you can give me, a close above this red bar high here at 82.36 tomorrow and back above that 100 moving average, you could make a case crude is bottomed. I'm just not super. I got to see what bonds do really. If yields start to reverse and rip higher again, which again, this right now, yields are selling off, but they're not dumping, right? This is still like holding up pretty well. Yields can still make a leg up. And if that happens, that's kind of your bull case for crude in the near term. The bear case is obviously recession is demand destruction, and that slows down, obviously the demand for WTI. But for right now, it's holding up. It's got a reaction off that level. We'll see what it looks like tomorrow on the weekly time frame, and we'll see what bonds do over the next couple of weeks here. But crude continuing to bounce. XLE was red today, so that did back off a little bit. XOP down 2%, actually a much bigger sell candle there on the XOP. And OIH tried to get back above the 20. Still unable to do that. These stocks are still holding up really well, but I still think that they are going lower here in the near to medium term. Nat gas holding up well. This is sloppy here, but it could be considered kind of a bullish consolidation. So you had an up move, a pullback, up move, and now you're just kind of consolidating sideways. So if this, puts in a little bit more, it can have another leg up here. But personally, I'm not doing anything with it at the moment. It's just too sloppy for me to want to touch right now. Dollar index pushing lower, so down over 1% on the day. Market's not up that much with the weak dollar, but they were up so much yesterday. It's kind of, we'll kind of give it a pass there. Dollar is now below the 200-day moving average. It's something here, but the weekly is still, I think that weekly 50 is really more important at this point. And I told you guys 104, 103, somewhere in that area, there's still really good support there for the dollar. But for now, it is backing off here. And that is bidding up precious metals. Look at gold here above the 200 moving average for the first time since, got to go back to June there. So nice move for gold. This will have a headwind. What's this price? 18. I mean, it's basically right here. We'll call it 1830. There's going to be some headwinds there for gold, but nice bid off the lows there. Take a look at GDX, huge move. Newmont almost got up to that $50 level. I told you guys, some people didn't believe me when I said Newmont's a buy down here this entire way down, and it's almost back up to $50 already. But nice move there for the precious metals. Silver, we did take gains on the second half, over 20% on SLV. So we closed that trade out. It basically hit my upside objective. I've been telling you guys for weeks now, $23 is going to be kind of the big upside target here. Maybe it gets up to 23, 25. There's definitely can't rule that out. A little bit of overshoot. It had a nice pullback, but that has satisfied my upside objective. And I will be getting back into this shortly, but I just want to see a little bit more backing and filling or a pullback, something of that nature. But metal's getting a nice bid here. Platinum as well. Back to basically the old highs right now. Nice bid up above 1050. This ultimately wants to go back up to the highs, if you ask me, but I need to see a lot more backing and filling first here. But overall, I like platinum, and I will look to play this again as well. I've played this a couple of times this year and had some success. Copper here as well, up 1.6%. It's chopping around here. I want to see a strong weekly close tomorrow. This would be decent, but you really want to negate that engulfing reversal we had from a few weeks ago. But copper's holding up, so we'll give it the benefit of the doubt for now. All right, over to the crypto sector. So Bitcoin struggling to hold that 17,000 area. We got above it yesterday, and now we're kind of just backing off. Let's take a look at the hourly. Yeah, so we got up there, kind of stair-stepped up, bull flag, pop, and now we kind of got a little bit of distribution there, and now we have a bearish inside bar here on the hourly. So Bitcoin continues to struggle. Again, it's no surprise here. Levels have not changed. 18,005, 18,7. That daily 50 moving average there will be resistance currently, and you still just have a bearish inside bar for now. But again, Bitcoin continuing to struggle here to really kind of get anything going. Anyways, market's about to close here in less than a minute. Spiders are holding up. We're basically flat. Again, it's just a pause day right now. Give the markets the benefit of the doubt on the long side. We'll give it a neutral to upside bias right now. That was a power bar yesterday. This trend line is minor. We can push through it. I am looking for 412 bare minimum, and then again, bigger upside objective would be this a back test of this upsloping trend line. So anyways, guys, going to wrap it up here. You guys take care. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. I'll talk to you all tomorrow.